Welcome. Good morning, all. Cody here, dealing with the Management Group. Sources for another property. Looks like everything's here. Everybody's here to help me with this morning, but
What's up, everybody? So today I wanted to do a quick mini training on how we test any market for any piece of real estate with ghost ads. So what I mean by that is if you're doing a fix and flip or you're buying a property to rent or any sort of creative strategy, this is a way that we always test what our assumptions are before we actually pull the trigger on the deal. So whether it's a house we're buying and we want to resell it, or an apartment building that we're buying, we don't know exactly what that type of property will pull and rent. What we do is set what's called a ghost ad. So we'll use Facebook Marketplace. Essentially, we'll take the pictures from the original listing or the thing that we're trying to purchase, or if it hasn't been fixed up yet and we're trying to test the end product, we'll go out and find properties that are similar to the one that we're doing. And then what we do is go in and create a listing on Facebook for sale or for rent, depending on what you're trying to test. And we will put that out there into all the Facebook groups, post it on the marketplace. And then after that, we kind of judge based on the type of feedback that we're getting, whether we're too high on price, too low on price. And it kind of gives us a better idea going into that new market on what to do. So a lot of times, we'll just test this out with a random property. So I'm just going to type in Wisconsin. I don't know anything about Wisconsin. We're going to go to Madison. So let's say that we're trying to renovate a 3-bed, 2-bath house that's existing, and we think the market might sell closer to let's just say 350,000. So we'll go in, we'll take a similar type property. It's got to be the same bed, bath, square footage, same kind of updates on the inside is what we're trying to do. So you can see like kind of quartz, that might be laminate type countertops in this one. Has a garage. So we want to find comps that are pretty close to what we're trying to figure out if the listing would work. So we'll just screenshot some photos from this. If you have your own pictures, obviously it's better. But if you don't, you can test this with people's listings that are on the other side of the U.S. Tends to not cause any issues. And the biggest thing here is you're not taking any money or giving anyone any sort of feedback on, this is the next step in the process, because clearly this is a ghost ad. We don't exchange funds with any hands. We don't promise anything about the property. We're just seeing how many people reach out to us, how many people click the link, and try and get some feedback based on that. So I'll take a front photo. And again, this works for both sales and for rental comps. So with this same thing, if we were trying to rent a 3-bed, 2-bath around 1,400 square feet, we'd come in here with Facebook, we'd add our photos up. Our photos in here. Let's just say this one's for rent. So we're trying to rent a 3-bed, 2-bath, around 1,400 square feet. The house, 3-bed, 2-bath. We're thinking we could get, let's say, $1,600 a month for this. Pretty on the low side. We want to set our general location. We don't want to, clearly don't want to put an address on here that's fake. So we'll, pick something around Blacksburg, give a rental description. So for rent, 3-bed, 2-bath, great updates, yada, yada, yada. You can put whatever you want in there. List the square footage, date available. You want to say today, whether it has in-unit laundry. It's got garage on this one, air conditioning type, HVAC, heating type, HVAC, and then you can put cat friendly, dog friendly, whatever you want. And then the next step, pretty simple. You just go in and, what I like to do, especially in our market, is follow all these kind of like yard sale pages, real estate pages. people looking for rentals, people looking for properties to buy, and I will actually post these in the group. So it actually gives it a little bit of a boost whenever you list it, because people that are in those groups get a notification that somebody just posted a house in those groups. It's not just relying on posting it to marketplace. It's actually putting it in specific groups for that are targeted for what we're trying to do. So Virginia homes for sale, surrounding homes for rent, sell, Virginia homes for sale, for rent, things along those lines. That's probably good. So obviously then we'll publish it. I'm not going to publish this one because it's for an example, but within that first 3 to 5 day window, you should see at least 10 to 15 people come in and actually, is this available type of write back. A lot of people will be a little bit more interested. They'll want more information. I personally do not respond to these guys because I don't want to lead them on and think, hey, this is a real opportunity. After that kind of 3 to 5 day window, I'll usually just take it down. A lot of times it says that it's sold or whatever, so that people, they understand or don't come back to you asking about that specific property. But gives us a really good idea of like, hey, based on our plan, this is an apartment room, 1-bed apartment. Do we think we can get $950 for it based on what we're planning on doing to the property, or as is? If you're buying an apartment building, you want to see, could I bump rents up to $1,000 per unit? Then you could go into that listing and find similar photos or use the same photos potentially if you've got it under contract, and just see on Facebook if this is going to be something that the marketplace takes in. So it helps us a lot with our guesswork. We call agents, we talk to other property managers, we do all these things, but really the market is what decides whether something is going to be viable or not, or they're going to like the product that you're giving out. So this is a great way to test that. Wouldn't go too overboard with it. Use it sparingly, but it's a great way, to kind of to test your assumptions before you get money into the deal and actually execute on it. So that's about 5 minutes for the day. If you have any questions on this, let me know. Keep following along. We're going to have these, every other week from now on, and post in the group. Follow us on socials, and we'll see you next time.